am like so like don't know what to think is about to happen here. It's also been like a week since I last recorded a video. So I don't know how to feel. Like I've been sitting on what exactly happened there. Do I think Mayuri's gonna be dead and a goner here? No. But like what they're gonna do outside of like the typical ways that we've already seen of how to kind of get her back or revert back and possibly change things. I have zero clue the direction that they would take there. And especially how we get away from Moyaka or deal with her and the and CERN now and everything that's happening. Like I don't know. There's been so much on my mind that I just let sit for forever. And I should have recorded immediately after, and I never did. Things happen. Oh well. I feel like it all to like and subscribe to me and all that. So feel free to stick around for discussion. Limited comments with this episode of this series. Let's go into episode 13. You're gonna make me watch this whole thing over again. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, FB is still a thing that we gotta fucking figure out, isn't it? This is like the reverse effect when you take the horse out back and turn him into glue, you know? You're removing the glue in this situation by getting rid of her. You won't do it. You need him. Maybe if she kills him, he can't die. Oh! Susan! My goat! She's a warrior! Oh! The intro here, they're really holding that shot.
42ブラウン管点灯済み
Oh, go back. Lads, send the message. Oh! The claymore. There's no other choice. Oh. It's an entirely different sequence. Ah.
亡くなったのはまだ真由里が小学生の頃だった。懐中時計を手にいつもいつも空を見上げていた。まるで
Always the connection to time.
待っているようにブラント光線、エンジェルラダーとも呼ばれる光。真由里がその光に引き込まれていくような。真由里が消えてしまうような。
That's the last thing you wanted, huh? Yeah.
連れてなんて行かせない。真由里は俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。
Give her a thing of hope in a way.
オカリンの人質なんだね。じゃあしょうがないね。どうしたの？もしかして居眠りでもしてた？
The trauma. Still moving.
成功したのか。タイムリープに。
岡部？
マイリはどうだ？
あ、買い物行
Just
くの？
gotta verify. I gotta see her with my eyes.
中止だ。
中止？どうして？
何かあったん？
Yes.
今日はこれで解散だ。
He's once again still not telling anybody anything.
いいから帰るんだ。いいな、絶対だ。
But he's doing what I said. He's trying to keep it from them, and he's trying to protect them by doing this. Go home. Get out of here.
携帯？
Oh. I'd call just to hear that voice message, bro.
回線が大きく変わった様子はない。D メールの時とは違って 本当に今日の午後5時に戻ってきたんだ。入りが鈴葉を連れて帰ってきて。警察に駆け込む。
No, I think you gotta talk to fucking Suzuha about this. Suzuha would.
タイムリープしてきたなんて。
I'm telling you.
あと3時間でなんとかするしかない。
And would this all make sense if we say that Suzuha also came back with the same thing? That's why she knows the thing she knows?
世界線が変わっていないということは、マユリ自身の行動は俺が何かをしない限り変わらないはずだ。
Right. That's why we have to protect everybody that we can here. Why can't anybody answer the fucking phone, bro? What's the point of having a phone if you're not gonna answer it?
早く帰っ。
端的に答えて。あんた未来からタイムリープしてきたんじゃない。何かあったってこと。
We died.
詳しく話している時間はない。とにかく逃げるんだ。
逃げるってどこに。
Just anywhere but the lab.
なるべくラボから離れるんだ。
Yeah.
分かったな。
後でちゃんと聞かせてよ。
あ、誰にも伝えて。
Will he though?
分かった。あのさ、
Please talk to
マユリを見
Suzuha.
てないか。
Please.
椎名真由里。
マユリ。
Hmm.
マユリ。
あ、オカリ。見て、一番星。
いいから一緒に来るんだ。
パーティーは。
中止だ。もうクリスと誰にも言ってやる。
どうして。
後で説明する。
でも、すずさん誘っちゃったし。
I told
タ
her.
ロ君だってピザ頼む。
No.
いいから言うことを聞け。
オカリ。わからないのです。
People don't understand if you don't tell them.
今
Yep.
日のオカリは本当にわからないよ。
時間がないんだ。詳しいことは後でちゃんと話す。
ごめんね。マユシなんかびっくりしちゃって。
謝るな。マイリーは悪くない。
でも誰もいないよ、ホーム。
I wonder why.
もう一度お伝えします。爆破の予告があったために現在運転を見合わせている。
マイリー、地下鉄だ。早く。
岡部、凛太郎だな。
Yeah, you're being watched, brother. It's not just at your place, dude.
どいてくれ。走れ。逃げろ、マイリー。
No, bro.
死んだのは椎名真由里です。岡部君。いえ、岡部倫太郎は確保しました。
Dude. We have to tell people, we have to talk to Suzuha, we have to. If you try and take it all on yourself, it's not gonna happen.
ラウンが今晩乗り込んでくるという情報をキャッチした。
Dude,
おかりん、またなんかやらかしたん？
ちょっとな。
I get it, but like,
真由里は。
マイリーには俺が言う。とにかくここにいては危険だ。本日は解散とする。とにかく今はみんなをラボから遠ざけるのが先だ。
but you have to also think about you were just caught away from the lab. Like, there's a chance they're gonna be finding them away from the lab as well, no?
マイリーはそこにいるか。
真由里ちゃんですか。はい。今帰るところ。
呼び止めるんだ。俺が行くまで
Keep her here.
絶対にそこから動くなと伝えてくれ。
でもラボに戻る。
いいから言う通りにするんだ。
Everything stays the same.
新幹線は白いの。ああ、
Mm-hmm.
マイリ
オカリ。てってる。
ー。パーティーは中止。延期になった。
どうして。
どうしてもラボが使えなくなってな。仕方ないんだ。
We can have it here.
それでこれからちょっと遠出する。旅行だ。
Congratulations.
うぶきちゃんは明日でもいいけど急だね。どこに行くの。
それは後で話す。電車の時間がないんだ。
でもマユシ何の準備もしてな
They're
いし。
fine the way you are.
お金も。
それは心配しなくていい。
行ってくるね。
Yeah, bye bye for fucking ever, huh?
秋葉原の駅向こうじゃないかな。
No, that one.
そうなんだ。なんか こうやってオカリンに引っ張られて歩くのすごい久しぶりだね。
あ
Get nervous crossing the street now, huh? Yep, you're being watched, brother.
あれ、マユシの懐中止まっちゃってる。おかしいな。
I like how they show you that shot before you see the guy standing behind it, so you can suspect if it's somebody ready to walk up on him or not.
ずいぶん人が多いね。
総武線が止まったんだろ
マユシは聞きたいことがいっぱいあるけど、今は我慢しとくね。その代わり終わったら全部聞かせてほしいのです。
He'd love nothing more, wouldn't he?
約束する
We about to like derail a fucking train, bro.
いつか
Is this the little girl?
必ず。マユリお姉ちゃん。
It is. Are you a fucking plant? Is she gonna push her onto the fucking track? What was that holding your hand? Did they show us release it? I don't remember. Don't they get those things in Japan so you can do that?
わざとじゃないの。私、お姉ちゃんをびっくりさせようと思って。
I'm sure, buddy.
殺させないマユリは俺が助ける
Turn back the time. Okay, so there's a few things on my mind that I think I want to, I guess, predict will happen, or believe at least will happen, and a couple things I want to just discuss about Okabe specifically and the direction he's choosing to go with this and why he's doing things the way he is. Firstly, I guess predictions and stuff for how things are going to go. Not necessarily, I guess, how they're going to go, but more of, so I'm under the impression, and I strongly believe that Suzuha having the knowledge and stuff that she has isn't directly sent through a D-mail, but through a time leap. And somehow these time leaps allow everybody who does one at one point to keep the things within the same timeline, their memories and stuff that they retain. So some point down the line in the future, we figure out ways to do it well more than the, I don't even remember, what is their limit that they said? It's like 2 days, I think. So 48 hours probably, or 3 days, one of those two, I think. That might not even be, I think that's their predicted limit. They don't actually know, and they're assuming that that's as far as they can go. So my guess is that's where Suzuha gains all of her information and why she's the way that she is, and she knows these things that she does. She knows things like in fragments, almost like they're going to happen like this or they're going to happen like that. So she probably doesn't know enough. I could be off on that. So she might absolutely not. But I believe that would likely be the case where she knows enough for that. So we need to use Okabe to get her involved, and we need to discuss it with her, and we need to talk this out with her for a direction for us to basically take this. And the next step that we're going to go if we want to save Mayuri, or save literally everybody involved and protect ourselves at the end of the day here. Now, I am curious if we're going to spend the remainder of the series in this loop, almost in this specific cycle of we can't get past this 8 p.m. mark here, you know, like we're stuck at this exact mark. And I do wonder that. That'd be an interesting route to go, because they can play around with it too, where they do the time leaps and they send us further back than a couple hours like we have been doing, which allows us to prepare really for a few days at least, and see if we're being followed and watched and stuff for these days. While we know that is the case based on the things that Daru said and how CERN is connected to us, basically, it allows us to see, I guess, how far apart they are, like if they actually have people in place doing these things, or if they're just observing us like in some sort of way. And it gives us time to strategize and kind of plan out the way that we want to approach things in the future. I believe strongly, though, we'll end up going a route where we use a combination between the time leap and the D-mails, where we'll use like D-mails to change the line that we're in, so things are different, and it might give us different opportunities to like sort out where we are and how exactly we can go about doing this, and then we can use the time leap to kind of fix things and progress us within that exact timeline. Because as far as I'm aware, the time leap happens within the same exact timeline, whereas the D-mails alternate us and shift us to a different. So if that's the case, I think using a combination can possibly work. Now it can fuck things up way more by changing things and us having to gain a basis again for where we're at and how things actually occur. But it definitely can change things in a certain way. So I'd be interested the route that we could possibly decide to go with that. Now, Okabe specifically, what I want to talk about is his decisions to do the things that he is. I guess get a little bit behind his mind and why he's choosing to go about everything this way. One, I mean, the saving people makes sense. We want to save everybody, of course. Most people would, especially if they're as close to somebody like Mayuri is to him. Of course, he's going to want that. So that's not even like a thing I'm questioning at all. More so the idea of not wanting to involve the others. He's a very kind-hearted person and stuff, and chooses to kind of clear out the location and get them away, and doesn't want to involve everybody, which I understand and I respect, and I'm okay with that. But when I say involve, I'm more so talking about the idea of not expressing what has happened in these previous timelines here, or these moments before the time leap, and how or why he's not explaining the things that he knows to them, and using a greater amount of people to kind of get behind that and understand. Even if you don't know the proper way to take, even if you don't know what to do in those situations, reach out and ask, reach out and speak your mind to the best of your ability, and allow others to figure out what the hell you're trying to say, because it's not easy to fully convey well, it's easy to convey, but it's not easy to actually like detail out the things that you're trying to say, whether you're prohibited or you're not. It's not it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you have so much going on and you can't really keep a straight timeline of the things that is happening, and you're kind of so chaotic in a way. His way of also just like handling things, the way he's kind of yelling and pulling Mayuri, and I mean, he realizes in the moment what he's doing is like a bit aggressive and rude in a way of, because of course she's not going to understand in the situation and stuff that he's in. So he uses a calmer tone in the way that he speaks to her afterwards, which I really appreciate. But more so just the way that he's kind of yelling at her and venting to her, like why don't you understand? Oh, you like, just do what I'm telling you. Everything will work out if you do what I do. Like all these types of things, which is like heavy vibes from ReZero, when at multiple moments Subaru has exact conversations like this. They're usually presented a little bit differently, but similarly, where he's not telling people what is going on with him, or he is yelling and mad because people won't understand him, because of course they're not going to, because you can't tell them, or you won't tell them either, and you're not really expressing this properly, besides just kind of forcing them into doing things. And the exact same thing's happening here, and it's fascinating to kind of see unfold. He does a good job here, at least, of realizing when he's kind of being a little irrational in the way he's doing things or saying things, and kind of calming himself down and trying to reapproach the situation or restart the things that he's saying. Even so, it's still a tough thing to kind of get through and watch, especially as he's having so much build up over and over on him, to the point that it's going to explode at some point, and he needs to come out and just say it. Nobody's going to be mad at him for the things that are happening. Nobody is going to, I mean, is it the idea of saving them from the panic? Is it like, what exactly is he trying to do by not expressing this to others and not putting it on them? Like, if you're going to change things and things are going to change regardless, like, you might as well tell them, right? Like, I don't know. And sure, the reasoning doesn't have to make sense to me at all, because I mean, realistically, nobody, like I said, is going to act completely rational in these situations, so it doesn't have to. It's just one of those that typically in these moments you should tell other people, and get as many people and minds thinking on this and involved, and seeing where you can bring yourselves and go from there. Because clearly he's leaving out some things and missing some things about the direction to take things and where these people should go. Also, another big issue that's coming up that I don't think is like realizing, and it might not even be something, it might just be something I'm thinking is happening and it's not, is the idea that we're taking Kurisu and Daru with us, and it's not just Okabe. So every single time Okabe's running away and keeping them away from the lab, as if they're just going to the lab. That's clearly not the case. They are coming to find him and take him, so they're following him at all costs. But when he moves everybody else and tells them to go elsewhere, what are the odds that Daru and Kurisu are also being followed or chased and being watched, right? They're probably pretty high, and I'm assuming that he's not the only one being followed here. So even sending them away from the lab isn't necessarily going to help. I mean, a quick route that we could do if we just want to not tell anybody is track down and figure out where the hell Moyaka is and fucking confront her and maybe beat the fuck out of her. I don't know. Do something to kind of get us away from everything that she's causing here, I guess. We could definitely do something like that, but I don't know. Making us rewatch this entire scene was just cruel and completely unnecessary. I mean, it wasn't unnecessary, but I'm a bit upset about that. And then I love Suzuha coming in and saving us at exactly her doing this, her activating the lifter for us to go ahead and actually do this time leap and get everything to work, and then using the different things around the lab and stuff to create the smoke and everything that's happening is awesome. Kurisu getting fucking shot here is crazy. This is such a high, intense moment before you get into the OP, which is great. The backstory between, or small amount of the backstory here between Okabe and Mayuri is very sad, and it hurts to kind of see, especially like finding out the reasons behind her being or calling herself the hostage and stuff like that, and why she was referring to herself that way, and the close things that they kind of have between each other, and how he tried to save her back then, basically, and bring her more into a light, right, and give her another chance almost, or give her something to kind of look forward to and do, and purpose almost, it feels like, which is really, really sweet. And it's a heartbreaking thing to kind of witness. This is where Okabe goes on his beginning of his descent to madness. We find out, you know, the lines don't change. We're in the same line, so we're just getting sent back to everything's going to be exactly the same. I mean, the way that the people act within it might not be the same, but it's not like we're changing the worlds or changing, you know, if Ruka's a boy or a girl or not. It's not that, you know, everything's staying kind of the way that it is. I love Kurisu being able to pick up on it instantly and understanding what's happening, but then Okabe telling us later, which is like fucking annoying. Now, I wonder also if us taking Nai shopping here has something to do with this. I don't know. I can't think of... I was gonna say like why she was at the train station or something in that timeline instead, but I mean, I doubt that's the case. Suzuha's involved in this situation here, and I don't think anything that happened in that end sequence was intentional or anything, so I don't think that's going to be the case. Finding Mayuri in her signature pose here, and then this is that whole thing I was talking about where he's just kind of yelling, if you know, about her understanding, and she's like, I don't, and he's like, okay, just calm down, listen to me, we gotta do what we gotta do, you know. This is when we get pulled up on by a guy with a gun here. And then we try and get away, but unfortunately the shatter and the pocket watch and Moyaka pulls up, of course, and hits us with the car. We're able to get away and do what we can, but then we have to revert back to another day. I wonder if having Suzuha around in these situations and having her be her warrior self would be useful either. I don't really know how much it would. I mean, I guess it would just buy us time to get away and reset, but it doesn't really do too much for us, so that might not make enough sense. But just having her around is probably still important, and I think that's necessary. This moment of us telling Mayuri we're going on a trip and Ruka all blushing and stuff is funny, and then Okabe constantly holding her hand, and even like the moments where they show you holding it and then he starts like, it's like he's shaking a little bit, is frightening. But then also as we go across the street, realize there's people here. The entire thing happens because the train station is shut down, right? So clearly everything that's happening here through the bomb threat, through all this, is all intentional to happen at this moment and to trap us exactly where we are right now. So this is very intentional and thought out, the things that they're doing. So there's almost no running around and escaping. It's almost like I have to face this and find a way to fix this entire situation. Also, in this moment, I don't notice a moment where they release hands from each other. I still don't see one. So when Nai runs out and pushes Mayuri on, like how, because if you're holding somebody enough by the hand, like she's not, he either would have got pulled in, like there's no way she'd fall at this angle like this, you know. So I mean, maybe that's just like some weird inconsistency I'm not getting, but I don't remember when they released hands that would be something that would happen. Also, I'm like 99% sure that in front of the trains in Japan, they have things to prevent people from killing themselves because they were doing it so often by them. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So unless that was all implemented after the fact here, but that could just be me being weird about technicality things that I shouldn't be. Regardless, that is fucking lame that we continuously do this, and clearly we have to go back further. Unless this is a destined thing, unless we're destined to have Mayuri die, and there's zero that we can do about it. I don't believe that we would do that though. Typically in these shows, you can save the person. They might take them away for a bit, but typically you could save them. So unless they just say, fuck it, you can't do that. I also just want to say that this has the ability to hit the way that it has been these past few episodes as so much of a shock and so much of like getting angry at these moments, and making them more emotional, I guess, than they would come off had you done them earlier, because it has the luxury of being that like a visual novel and coming from that, so they were able to complete and build a full game and a full story out of this, rather than have to kind of like sell it off like, oh, you enjoyed this chapter, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have to leave you and rearrange things and cut things short to really introduce you. Like they could really build up your connection to these characters for half of a season to allow the payoff to hit a lot more, which is something that you don't get as much nowadays, which is really, really cool to kind of say. And I love that, which also a lot of people were saying, and I've talked about this before, that the series like gets good now, but like it was good from the start. So I don't agree with that in the slightest. Like, sure, things have changed a bit here, and we've taken a different direction here, but it was really good from the start and interesting. So I don't know. I don't like that argument too much. Another great one though, leaving me angry, sad, confused, and excited for more. I guess I feel like to like and subscribe to me and all that. Maybe feel free to check out the other videos in the channel. Have any comments about this episode or series? I'll be back for episode 14 soon. You guys have a good one. Peace.